We want to get back to NBC4's Jonathan Gonzalez right now. He is still in Westlake Village, and you watched him evacuate from multiple locations.
Yeah, absolutely. They're talking with someone who's working on a home who was out there with a hose trying to save it.
Yeah.
We don't know the fate of that home at this point. But Jonathan, we're still seeing more flames where you are.
Yeah, no, Michael, we've actually come back. Let me try to take off my mask here for a moment, but we've actually come back to Glenbridge Road where we were earlier this morning. We were just up the road here, standing on the other side of this house, right? That was the house that was being built or is being built, and that was being overtaken by fire. That fire has jumped Glenbridge Road to the other side from where we were standing. You see a lot of the ash and the dirt kicking up. That is the area around that house that did catch fire. We're going to get out of the way for this police vehicle to come through. They're closely monitoring the situation up there. We understand the contractor or the workers that were watering that area up there are still up there trying to protect the home. Again, they've been working on that house for 2 to 3 years. But here, one of the people we were standing with is a man named Phil. And Phil, they're working on his home right now, and that's what you see. It's tough to see the home from our angle down here below, but you see these firefighters watering the hillside. You can see the burned out trees up here on top of the hill on the side here that we see another chopper coming in, monitoring the situation, monitoring this area. Phil is actually talking to the firefighters. We were standing with him just moments ago and he saw flames on the backside of his home, and he felt the need to come over and tell firefighters that it was there because he felt they didn't have a good vantage point of it, and that is why they have the chopper now over the air to make sure they're getting a good perspective of exactly what is going on. And so Phil, who was back here, who we'll hopefully talk to here in a second, was up there before the fire overtook the road we were standing on, and he was telling us that he wasn't concerned about the fire overtaking this area because he felt there was enough brush clearance at the time of the fire. It was down in Triunfo Canyon, down hundreds of feet below where we are, but of course fire moves quickest uphill, and it just took a minute or so for that fire to creep up and take over Glenbridge Road. You can hear that chopper just above us here. Give us just a moment. I'm going to speak with Phil here. Phil, I know that you were concerned and you wanted to come and tell firefighters about that hot spot we saw on the backside of your house. What'd you say?
I just told them, I said, you guys can't see it from here, and I'm surprised that the water district wasn't here to open this gate so they could get out there and be a little bit more effective with the water. Guy just hopped over the gate, took the hose, went all the way around, and
you see back here, Joel, if you can show it straight ahead of us here.
Yep. And one of these great firemen over here said, I was in your backyard, everything is fine. He says that we hosed everything down, nothing is burned at all.
Phil, when we last saw you, you were frantically evacuating. Your wife was in the back of your car sobbing with the dogs. How is she doing right now, and how are you guys?
I think she's feeling a little bit better. She's over here somewhere in this. She's talking to somebody over there in this fog of smoke.
I think she's looking for you. I know that when we first spoke, Phil, you were maybe a little overconfident that the fire would come up this way, and we were standing together when we were forced to literally run from that fire.
Yep, we did. We had to run from the fire. Boy, do I remember that moment. Everything turned black and dark red. Where are you going? The keys are in the car, in the truck.
Hey guys, so yeah, we were standing with Phil here. He's talking with his wife, who was very upset earlier when we last spoke with him. They were being forced to evacuate this area, and again, he didn't feel like it was the firefighters would listen to him about this hot spot on the back of his house, and sure enough, one of them jumped over the fence here because it's locked. This is a water district fence, and you can see that it's locked, and these two firefighters have jumped it now so that they can make sure that they're protecting all sides of Phil's home right now. It's just incredible to see the effort on every single area around here. Again, this is Glenbridge Road off of Lindero Canyon. Oh no, come here. What were you saying, Phil?
You got to be impressed with these guys.
I was just talking about them.
That, this is about a 5.5, 6 foot fence, and that guy just scaled it like it was nothing, right? These guys are in shape. Right?
Can you tell me just to watch what they've been doing, and they weren't even here when that fire overtook the road, and to see how quickly things have changed?
They suddenly appeared, right? Like out of nowhere.
At the right moment.
At the right moment, exactly the right moment. And, wait a minute, I'm getting things in my eyes. And
it just shows you the thickness and the smoke right now and all the ash.
Yeah. But I'm glad he did there because there was an active flame back there, if that's the right word to use to describe a flame.
And you were not sure that they would even listen to you. They might shoo you away, you thought.
Oh, yeah, well, they don't like to be interfered with sometimes. They're doing a hard job out here. So I give these guys a AAA+.
Phil, thank you so much for speaking with us. They are the best, absolutely. And guys, again, yeah, just a testament to how quickly they responded. When we were being evacuated, the only officials up here was one LA County Sheriff's deputy who immediately saw the fire coming up our way and was headed down Glenbridge Road and forced us all to get out. And we literally ran to our truck and got out. And Phil was the first person we talked to when we first parked down here. And his home, again, he never thought it'd be threatened. And now there's literal fire that they've been putting out around his property, but it sounds like that's going to be okay. And again, a testament to these firefighters out here, guys.
Just incredible. Jonathan, stay safe out there.
Jonathan, to what we just saw in Malibu, two completely different tales here.
Yeah. The fuel's going to be a little bit different. The winds may be different right there, moving the fire.
The shot is up, so shoot this.
All right, so we're going to take Jonathan Gonzalez live now in Westlake Village. And at last check here, Jonathan, you were on Glenbridge Road.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Michael, we are still on Glenbridge Road, and we are just now down the street from where we were. We are in the backyard of a home. I wish I would have seen the address as we were walking in, but you can see firefighters here kind of monitoring the situation. We've been seeing several airdrops in this area by choppers, and they were specifically focusing on the back ridge here behind this home, and they really stopped a lot of the fire from spreading. Right now, you see these little spot fires burning some brush right behind the home, but a testament to this area. There's a lot of good clearance, between the home and where this fire was burning. And so the chopper being able to drop so much water, you're seeing a lot of that steam and coming up from that white smoke here. That is good news for firefighters here. So they're just kind of monitoring the situation. They're really in the backyards of many homes here in this area along Glenbridge Road. And one thing I want to show you is something that as many firefighters as we've seen, we've also seen a lot of law enforcement making sure not only that people are evacuating when they are in a dangerous situation, but one thing we saw in this particular home is someone actually wrote a sign that says, "We have evacuated, the alarm is on." They want to make sure that there are no looters in this area. And just so people know, there are plenty of law enforcement everywhere that we have been, on top of all the firefighters that we have seen in these backyards and in these homes and in these neighborhoods. Again, we are in a neighborhood right above Lindero Canyon Road, not far from where Westlake Lake actually is, just on the other side down the hill from us. We were watching Triunfo Canyon burn just a couple hours ago, and we were hundreds of feet away from flames, and within minutes it overtook where we were here on Glenbridge Road and spread here to the other side of where we were standing. And so again, firefighters coming into this area, going house to house, trying to make sure everything's okay. You can see the smoke here along the edges of the homes, but smoke is a good sign. We don't see that much flamage right now. And that is a positive sign for firefighters right now, guys, in this neighborhood.
Yeah, we're seeing as your photographer zooms in there a bit that there is a bit of flame right there just on the other side of that fence line, but you've got the firefighters there with you, don't you?
We do have plenty of firefighters. Joel Cook's with me here, and he's going to show us. And the good news is, Carolyn, that, again, they did a water drop, several of them, within the last 20 minutes or so on this area, and that made a huge difference. You see, again, a lot of this white smoke, despite some of these little hot spots here. That is positive. They will take this over the flames that they were seeing 30, 40 minutes ago. They will take these little hot spots all day over what they were seeing not that long ago.
Incredible.
Yeah.